Coming up on Astros Field Pass.
Craig Biggio should be in the Hall of Fame.
It's crazy to fall 2 votes short. I know what it means to him. I know how hard he worked for it.
Biggio and Bagwell fall short of selection into baseball's Hall of Fame. Jose Altuve did not play winter ball back home in Venezuela, and that's pressure.
The hard thing about don't playing winter ball is the fans. You know, they sometimes they text you. If they see you in the street, say, come on, come play, and that's really hard, but at the same time, you gotta take care of your job.
Lucas, how tough was last season on you?
You know, I was kind of my own worst enemy. I was trying to get myself out of a funk.
Marius Payton sits down with Lucas Harrell, who's looking to turn his career around.
Have you been preparing for this?
No.
And what's Matt Dominguez not prepared for? Julia Morales finds out. Brett Oberholzer really turned heads last season.
I finished up strong, but what most people didn't see was my struggle in AAA for the first half.
Can Mark Appel make it to the big leagues this year?
I don't want anyone to think of me any differently because I was the first overall pick.
It's all on Astros Field Pass, and it starts right now. Good choice. Welcome to Astros Field Pass. She's Julia Morales. I'm Corey Heppola. Julia, seen you around the studios, but we haven't really talked since like October.
To be honest, I kind of needed a break from you, Corey.
Well, I've heard that a lot, mostly from the people that love me the most.
Oh, stop it. It's good to be back with you on this show. I really started to miss the ballpark, so definitely excited to be back here.
Yeah, I have too, and spring training right around the corner. But you know, the biggest news surrounding this Astros team has nothing to do with the current roster.
That's right. 2 former Astro greats, Jeff Bagwell, Craig Biggio, did not get into the Hall of Fame. Biggio falling 2 votes shy. Now, you need 75% of the vote to get into the Hall. Biggio gained 74.8. Yeah, and they don't round up. Biggio played all 20 seasons with the Astros, 7-time All-Star, won 4 Gold Gloves, and he's only one of 3 guys with over 3,000 hits not in the Hall.
3 players did get elected: Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and Frank Thomas, all getting in on their very first try. Biggio will have to wait for his 3rd time on the ballot. That's next season. While Bagwell, 54%. That's down from last year's 59%. But the gut-wrencher, that's Biggio, 2 votes shy.
I think everyone in our organization and our fan base, they feel that Craig Biggio is a Hall of Famer. 74.8% of the writers feel like he's a Hall of Famer. And so, you know, it's a tough day today. But at the same time, I look at it as, you know, the glass is half full. There was a real crowded ballot this year, a lot of guys that are deserving. And out of all those guys, Craig picked up 6% and, you know, got within 2 votes of being inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Craig Biggio should be in the Hall of Fame. He should have been in 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, whatever the number is. He's more than deserving, and I feel really, really bad for him, his family, and for the organization.
There's nothing more he could have done as a player. For 5 or 6 years, he was the best player in the National League. He had 7 or 8 years that were Hall of Fame-worthy years. You know, it's crazy to fall 2 votes short. I know what it means to him. I know how hard he worked for it.
My numbers are pretty good. But I watched Andre Dawson have to wait so long to get in the Hall of Fame. 14 years, actually, to get in the Hall of Fame. So I'm going to have to wait my time. And that's fine. It's not a big deal to me. It is what it is. I mean, I can't control that. All I can control is what I did on the field.
Well, the coolest thing would be that next year, Craig and Jeff going together. And, you know, when you think about what they meant to this community and this franchise, it would be a great day for Drayton McClain, too, who worked like crazy to make sure they played every game of their careers here. It would be a great celebration. That would be the only silver lining in this, is that if Craig and Jeff are able to go in together.
Craig Biggio did put out a statement after the announcement saying, quote, "Congratulations to Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, and Frank Thomas. Obviously, I'm disappointed to come that close. I feel for my family, the organization, and the fans. Hopefully next year."
Meanwhile, the Astros on the field. The biggest acquisition since our last show was the signing of reliever Jesse Crain. The 32-year-old right-hander was an all-star last season with the White Sox after 37 appearances and an impressive 0.74 ERA. Crain was traded to Tampa Bay on July 29th, but never played due to a right shoulder strain. The Astros hope he will be ready for the start of the season in what should be a much-improved bullpen.
You know, Minute Maid Park has stayed a popular place this offseason. Of the Astros 40-man roster, just 3 guys are actually from the state of Texas, those being Jared Cozart, Robbie Grossman, and Matt Albers. But many of those non-Lone Star staters have stayed in Houston to work out. This excites manager Bo Porter.
There are a lot of these guys, obviously, that are not from here, that have made a commitment to spend their offseason, you know, here in Houston, working out with our strength guy. It gives them an opportunity to develop even closer bonds together. I mean, I think the number is right around, 19 or 20, and that number is going to increase in the next couple of weeks because we have more guys that are going to come in that will be here until we depart to go to spring training. So it speaks volume to their character, and I believe that it's going to help make us a better ball club.
Great to see a lot of players here in Houston this offseason. One guy that didn't spend all offseason here but is here now is infielder Jose Altuve.
Great to see Altuve back with his teammates here at Minute Maid Park working out with the guys. I got to catch up with him a little bit. You know, he spent most of the offseason in his homeland of Venezuela where he did not play winter ball. That's the first time for him in his pro ball career. Happened to be tough for the second baseman.
It's not easy for me trying to deal with baseball here and baseball there. The hardest thing about don't playing winter ball is defense. You know, they sometimes they text you. If they see you in the street, say, come on, come play. And that's really hard, but at the same time, you gotta take care of your job and take care of your body and be ready for spring training.
What was your favorite thing to do this offseason? Did you take, I know you were in Venezuela, you were visiting your family, but did you take some time to yourself?
I think I really like staying at home. I spend most of the time of the year here in the States, and when I go back there, I just want to stay at home with my family, try to spend some time with them, because when I come back here for the season, it's going to be hard. Spend more than an hour. But they understand and they support me, and I think that was my best thing to do in my time off.
You seem very close with your family, and what's it like that time that you get to spend together? Do you see everybody? Is it one of those things where you guys gather and spend a lot of time together?
But yeah, that's always going to be good, spend time with your family, especially my family always stay together. Actually, we live pretty close, so I try to spend time with everybody, with my friends, really close to me, and I think I can't complain about my time off. That was a really good one.
Coming up, another guy who's looking forward to a better 2014, that being pitcher Lucas Harrell. We will hear from him. That's next on Astros Field Pass.
In 2012, he was arguably the best pitcher on the team. Last year, he took a step back, and the game kind of humbled him a little bit. And I think that passion, that desire, and that desire to get back to the caliber of player in which he knows he's capable of being is really driving him right now, and that's a good thing.
Despite losing 17 games, that's more than any other pitcher in the American League, and having the second highest ERA than any big leaguer that threw 100 innings, Lucas Harrell, according to Fox Sports, was drawing some trade interest back in December.
Did you really need to bring up all those stats again? I'm sure Lucas is ready to put that season behind him. But the Astros aren't the only team that knows this guy has potential. Marius Payton with Harrell on how he plans to shock the world in 2014.
Lucas, how tough was last season on you?
It was tough, when you struggle and you try to dig yourself out of a hole, and you keep, I was kind of my own worst enemy. I was trying to get myself out of a funk, and I was trying too hard. I was trying to do too much. I was trying to make every pitch the best pitch, and I kind of just kept digging myself in a bigger hole.
Were there times last season where you didn't want to come to the ballpark, where it became a grind for you?
There were times where I didn't want to come to the ballpark, but when I was pitching, I was so I felt like I overfocused, or I was like, I came to the ballpark saying, hey, I have to do good, because with the young guys coming in and in this group, nothing's guaranteed.
How much did the pressure build on you? Because, you know, you had young guys like Cosart coming in and throwing great. You know, you had Peacock who came in and threw great. Was that pressure on you because you were the veteran guy in the rotation?
I don't know necessarily that. I felt like it was more, the pressure was on me because it was pressure I put on myself. I hold myself to a high standard. You know, I feel like I want to go out there every time and not necessarily put up zeros, but go out there and give our team a chance to win. And quite a few of the games before I got taken out of the rotation, I wasn't even giving us a chance to win.
Take us back to that day when you were taken out of the rotation. What was that like?
I'll admit I wasn't happy about it. It was one of those things to where, you know, as a competitor and someone that likes to go out there every 5 days and you know, and try to help us win a ball game, it was one of those things to where it was one of those things that was kind of a reality check.
Did you have a nice long look in the mirror?
I was just trying to figure out where I could go next to make sure that I was helping us win. I knew that if they were going to put me down in the bullpen, I needed to help the team win down there. It didn't matter if I was starting or where I was pitching. You know, you still got to go out there and do a job, and you got to help the team win.
So what's your role this year as you fight to get back in that rotation?
The way I look at it is you know, we got 7 or 8 guys that are possibly going to be in the rotation, and it's like I did last year and the year before. I feel like I'm going to go into spring training. I don't have a job, and I have to go out there and perform to win a spot.
Let's just try and forget about 2013. Lucas certainly is. Remember, he was nearly the opening day starter for the Astros last season. But he's hoping to return to his 2012 form. Look at that season, 11-11, an ERA under 4, nearly pitched 200 innings.
Brett Wallace is another Astro that has been working out here in Houston. The 27-year-old is hoping to solidify his role as an everyday major leaguer. After a very rough start to the 2013 season, Brett was sent down to AAA before returning to have some modest success. The hope is he has figured out mechanically what he needs to do to be successful this season.
Bailey and myself, our hitting coach, have really talked about that towards the end of the year, just kind of understanding where I need to be with my hands, and then this is an opportunity to just work on it every day and make sure it's to the point of it's second nature, so I don't have to think about it anymore. And there's times towards the end of the year when we figured out what I needed to do that, you know, you're still you're working on it so hard before the game that sometimes it's still not second nature in the game.
Of course, you know, first base is a position we'll be looking at in spring training. Plenty of competition there. Wally, Chris Carter, maybe Jesus Guzman, or even John Singleton.
Coming up on Astros Field Pass, Brett Oberholzer. Wow, what a fantastic 10 starts that he made last year after the trade to Bud Norris to the Orioles. Plus, you talked with Matt Dominguez.
How much did you miss our interviews together?
I've been looking forward to it all off season. Just come in, locker room, doing interviews.
Have you been preparing for this?
No.
Bill Brown, congratulations.
Thank you.
2013 Texas Sportscaster of the Year. I know you've been getting a lot of congratulatory messages over the last 24 hours. It's well-deserved. Give us an idea what that means.
Well, it was a shock because I wasn't even a member of that organization, but I very quickly joined, John, once they let me know. Well, I ought to be a member at least and pay my $50. No, completely shocking and surprising and thrilling at the same time. And, you know, and the thing I really would like to emphasize, Kevin, is on TV, it's a team effort. It's just, you know, your partners make you look good, and the producer, director, the camera people, the audio, it all has to work on TV.
One of the classiest guys in our business, Bill Brown, Texas Sportscaster of the Year. Congratulations to Brownie. He's seen some pretty cool things. This will be his 28th season with the Astros this upcoming season. Saw the Craig Biggio 3,000th hit, the World Series year. Pretty cool.
Yeah, congrats to Brownie. He is a great guy to work with, and we couldn't be more happy for him. You can always count on Brownie.
You can. Always count on him.
You can also always count on Matt Dominguez.
I see where you went there.
The Astros third baseman, Matt Dominguez, played in 152 games last year. It's a lot. The year before, 2012, 154 between the majors and the minors. It's a guy that comes ready to play every single day.
Throughout my minor league career and things like that, I've always played a lot of games, and you know, I'm not the quickest, fastest guy ever, so, you know, little tweaks here and there aren't going to bother me, so I could go out there and, you know, play every day and get a good effort and keep it going this year, hopefully.
I have a feeling the goal setting, you haven't done all that maybe just yet, but are there things in your mind that you want to be better at in 2014?
Yeah, just, get a little quicker, faster, things like that, and just having better at-bats consistently and not carrying the bats over and taking one bat at a time, one pitch at a time, and just be more consistent with that.
The home run for you was good this past year, but specifically with hitting, what are some of the things that you want to work on there?
Just trying to know what the pitchers are doing to me and make sure I have a plan going up there. They always say bad plan is better than no plan at all. So just trying to realize what they're doing to me and have a good approach and just have a good timing.
The Astros rotation finished strong last season, led by 4 rookies. Brett Oberholzer was one of the young guns who definitely turned some heads there after July 31st. Can he do it again this year? Sarah Eckert explores.
And that will do it on the Astros' first complete game shutout of 2013.
As a 24-year-old rookie, Brett Oberholzer appeared in 13 games for the Astros, including 10 starts. The left-handed pitcher went 4-5 and was named the team's pitcher of the year.
It meant a lot. It was nothing that I had wanting to accomplish. It was, with hard work and a driven work ethic. I feel like them accolades come when you put the team first and you really put yourself on the back burner. And I think that is just another one to add. But it's not something that I want to hang my hat on by any means.
After joining the Astros rotation on July 31st, Oberholzer's 2.24 ERA ranked second in the American League during that span. He is also the only Astros pitcher with a complete game in 2013. But even with all his success, he still viewed his rookie season as an emotional learning experience.
I think the season in all was a perfect example of how continue through with your ups and downs and just keep going and hopefully the good prevails. I mean, I finished up strong, but what most people didn't see was my struggle in AAA for the first half or behind doors, what I was working on, the emotion, like I said, that goes behind it.
And now Oberholzer will get to work with new Astros pitching coach Brent Strom, who spent the last 6 seasons as the St. Louis Cardinals minor league pitching coordinator and instructor. He's helped develop dominant pitchers like Adam Wainwright, Michael Wacha, and Houston native Shelby Miller. And of course, Oberholzer is excited to work with Strom.
He's very enthusiastic, very outgoing. He wants to teach. He's not pushy. I loved our pitching coaches last year. I loved the pitching coaches I had in the minor leagues throughout my career. But it's a step forward.
And this is the pitch Strom wants Oberholzer to really focus on improving this offseason.
Curveball. I think most of my success came on 2-seam changeups, 4-seam up and in. But this year we're gonna try to get that curveball down. Hopefully it'll be another pitch for me in my repertoire.
If I did a drill with you for this and you were a kid.
Oberholzer knows 2014 will be a big year for him to continue to prove himself. He's in the process of writing down his personal goals for the season, but he already has this one goal in mind for himself and the team.
Bringing winning and the vibe back to this locker room. I know last year we lost a lot of games, and anytime you do that, the locker room, the camaraderie, the winning atmosphere isn't there. So hopefully we can bring that back, and that's the start. So hopefully by doing that, a lot of other good things will come.
The Astros' #1 pick from last year could be on the fast track to the bigs. Marius Payton sat down with him to see if he's prepared. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to Astros Field Pass. She's Julia. I'm Corey. So for the 3rd straight season, the Astros have the #1 overall pick.
Yep.
Turned out pretty well a couple years ago. They got Carlos Correa, who's doing a nice job so far, the shortstop. And then last year, the big-time college pitcher, Mark Appel out of Stanford.
Yeah, many expecting this right-hander to make an impact on the big league sooner than later. Marius Payton tells us that the Houston native will be ready when his childhood dream becomes a reality.
What's this year been like for you?
Hey, it's been pretty crazy. It's been a lot of fun. just real exciting just to be able to come back to my hometown and be able to play baseball.
It's sure to be a season filled with expectations for Mark Appel, and with expectation comes pressure. But he's immune to it all.
I understand that, you know, I'm just out here playing baseball. I love the game. I love to go out and play, and I want to be a competitor just like everyone else. I don't want anyone to think of me any differently because I was the first overall pick.
That's why Appel has been in the gym, getting stronger and working on his craft. He's often asked about making it to the show, and that's a lesson the Stanford grad learned quickly.
You see a lot of top prospects that come up, and they have an immediate impact, you know, and they seem like they've been ready for months, you know, and you start wondering, well, why isn't this guy up? And, you know, again, it's the business side. So there's a lot of stuff that really goes into it, a lot of stuff that's kind of over my head.
Mark Appel seems to have everything in perspective, but he does allow himself to dream. His most frequent dream started years ago as a youngster, and in that dream, he's wearing a Houston Astros uniform.
We would always pretend that we were some of the Astros greats, and you know, I think it's every kid's dream to be able to play professional baseball and really be able to play in the major leagues. Hopefully I can go out and prove something at spring training, but that doesn't mean, you know, I'll be on the team to start the season. So I'm just really focusing on what I can control and going out and performing to the best of my abilities.
You know, I'm really looking forward to seeing Mark Appel pitch, and that's going to be sooner than later. He has been invited to the big league spring training. Pitchers and catchers reporting February 15th. Can't wait.
That is so soon. It's good, too. And I'm going to be at spring training this year. Excited about that. February 23rd through March 1st. And then make way, because you're going to be there.
Coming through. No, we're going to have a great time. We're going to get to know these guys and watch them as they fight for a spot on opening day.
Before you know it, we're going to be back here playing games against the Yankees in early April. That's going to do it for this episode of Astros Field Pass. Julia Morales, everybody. Corey Effola. We'll see you soon.